Ozarks Technical Community College is excited to bring aviation to Southwest Missouri. And although it is an exciting time for the college and for the students who are taking advantage of the program, it isn't for everyone. It's important that you take some kind of self-assessment. If you've had any type of alcohol or drug convictions or careless driving, the chances are good that you won't make the standards that the Federal Aviation Administration, or FAA, has set. So do some additional research before you invest those critical dollars. It does us nor you any good for you to get in the program and then not be employable. In terms of the program itself, for a flight program, it is extremely affordable. But make no mistake, it is still the single most expensive program on the OTC campus. One flight lab, and there are 3 different credentials that you need from a flight lab. One credentialed flight lab is more expensive than an entire degree program. So it's important that you have access to financial aid. And the program is totally Pell eligible. Pell is a federal program that allows people to access dollars. If you qualify for the greatest amount of Pell grant that there is, you're still going to need extra money. Literally, 100% Pell is not sufficient to pay for this program. The good news is that the A+ program does apply to this program. If you are an A+ scholar, you are aware that it will pay for your tuition and common fees. It does not, however, pay for lab fees, and flight labs are lab fees. So although the A+ program is going to pay for your tuition and common fees, you'll still have more than $50,000 in lab expenses for flight. In terms of the program itself, our program is a 2-year program if you attend full-time. Although you can attend on a part-time basis, we don't recommend it. Since you're likely taking out loans to pay for the program, the quicker you can get through with the program, the quicker you can be employed in paying off those loans. The longer it takes you to finish, the more interest you'd be earning. So we want you to be successful and be in and out as quickly as possible. Flight labs themselves are at least 2 hours at a time, 3 days a week. Those all occur during the day based on FAA regulations. Because we are using pilots and other subject matter experts to teach our non-flight courses, the other courses like aviation weather are taught in the evening. That's because the folks who take care of the FAA weather, who are actually teaching the class, they work during the day, so all the non-flight classes will be in the evening. General education courses are available at any of our campuses or centers, and you can also take them in any kind of format, including online. The degree program itself is an Associate of Applied Science degree in Aviation Flight Technology. As a completer of the program, you will have attained your private license, your instrument certification, and your commercial pilot license. The commercial license is the one that immediately makes you available as a pilot for hire. Until you have that license, you are not allowed to accept money and take people places. If, and this is a very important point, if your goal is to be a passenger airline pilot as opposed to flying cargo, you will need more than this 2-year degree. You will need a 4-year degree. Oddly enough, that degree does not need to be in aviation. It can even be in music appreciation. That's the reason that we already have articulation agreements in place with both Drury University and Missouri State University. Both institutions are willing to take our entire 2-year Associate of Applied Science degree in total, and then allow you to have a Bachelor of Applied Science by getting additional 300 and 400 level classes to complete your 4-year degree. You're certainly not required to use that option. You could be a business major or something else. That's totally up to you. Nor are you required to go to those schools. You can go anywhere you wish. But there is a hidden or not so hidden agenda for the reason that we've come up with those articulation agreements. We'd love for you to stay in the area and get your 4-year degree. At the same time that you're completing that degree, have you become a certified flight instructor and actually teach incoming students those same basic skills and maneuvers that you've just spent 2 years learning? So getting paid to be a flight instructor while you finish your degree. By the time you have accumulated the right number of hours to get the job of your dreams and you're making significant salaries, we do hope that you would remember us when you are rich and famous and endow lots of scholarships so that the other students who are coming after you don't have to go through quite as much difficulty trying to access funds for the program. In terms of the admissions process, if you're already convinced that aviation is what you need to do, you need to go to OTC's website to apply. In the application, when it gets to program of study or major, select Aviation Flight Technology. That's the item that actually flags your record so that we know that you're interested in the program. Within 24 to 48 hours of you applying to OTC, you will receive an email from the college giving you an ID number and your very own OTC email address. It's critical that you set up that email address as soon as possible because we will be sending email to that email address regarding the program. Although you will already be an OTC student, you are not yet in the aviation program because that is a competitive admission program. So you're going to apply, select Aviation Flight Technology, and get your email address from OTC set up as quickly as possible. If it has been at least 1 semester since you've been to OTC, you will need to reactivate your account. You can go to the same website, you use the same procedure, and again, update your records so that your major is Aviation Flight Technology and start checking your OTC email. So let's go to the website and see where it's done. So when you go to OTC's website, just type in aviation in the search bar and you'll get choices of aviation program or aviation department. Either of those will get you to the same spot. Select it and scroll down to the icon that says About the Department. Then click on Admission Information. Here you'll see at a glance you've got the student checklist, the FAA medical standards, and a candidate selection form. Cleverly, it says that we're supposed to read the student checklist first, which is exactly what you should do. Our friends have taken care of putting everything you need in one spot. Not only does it give you the deadlines for when your materials need to be in depending on which semester, but it also gives you the student checklist. Here you can immediately click on the OTC application so you can see where it is that you need to fill out information. It also gives you links to the STAR session and to complete your orientation online. Again, this is where it's critical that you already have your OTC email set up because you'll need that information when you're navigating the orientation sections. You'll have advice on how to request transcripts, the technical acceptance standards. As you look on that link, you'll see the directions on how to apply for your FAA medical certificate. If you scroll down to the 3rd page, you'll find out that there are 2 aviation medical examiners in Greene County. You're not required to use those folks. You can choose someone that's closer to the lakes or someone in another state, but it must be from an aviation medical examiner. It cannot be your personal physician. Let's take a look at the candidate selection form itself, just so you know what's happening. As you can see, you'll need to attend a mandatory information session. Those dates are on the student checklist. You also need to complete the federal application for free student aid. Because the program is expensive, we ask that you fill out the FAFSA so that you know before you start the program that you will have sufficient funds to complete. So those 2 items, attending the information session and completing your FAFSA, those 2 are mandatory. Other items that will give you additional points in the selection process are being a Missouri resident, having already completed your FAA medical certificate, and then, because this program is rigorous, preference is actually given to individuals who have success in college. The better your grades in English, college algebra or higher, or an elective, the more points you get. If you have additional questions, you should consider emailing aviation at otc.edu. If you need to do additional research regarding salaries, airlines, etc., we would encourage you to take a look at airlinepilotcentral.com. Most of the questions that you may have can be answered there. We look forward to seeing you at an upcoming information session and look forward to you having a career that's headed upward.